Hey, what's up guys? Ron 98 talking to you, and just wanted to make a video here on why and what made me become a vegan. So what made me become a vegan was I watched a few documentaries back in 2012, and during that time I was sick. I was really sick with the flu, and I wanted to feel a lot better. So I found a few different people on YouTube, say Dan the Man, which is the Life Regenerator, Durian Ryder, David Wolf, Fully Raw Christina, a few of those kind of individuals, and I was watching some of their videos, and that definitely kind of switched the gears within my mind on why and how I could become a vegan. Put the blinders back on, didn't really think much of it, went back to eating standard American, and a few years later my mom healed herself from kidney cancer on a raw food diet with fasting involved, as well as enemas. Seeing that was very remarkable to me, and I wanted to follow what she was doing because I wanted to lower my chances of getting these different kinds of diseases that I know most of us will end up having. It was kind of a joke of mine that if you were to swallow your own saliva, for 50 years, you'd probably become laced with cancer somewhat, because it seems like everybody has cancer or some kind of issue that they're battling. I know that other animals in the animal kingdom are also battling some certain issues, but we, I think, are definitely worse off than them because we ingest a lot of different food-like products. And these food-like products aren't necessarily helping us. They're definitely addictive. They're very hard to kick. It's definitely a drug. No doubt about it in my mind. The FDA, which is the Food and Drug Administration, they administer the drugs in the food. That's just how it works in my mind. These things are very addictive. After seeing my mom heal herself of cancer, that was definitely a big one for me. I was already vegan at the time, and it was actually skiing with a guy who was 86. John, his name was, up on a ski resort, and he was a 40+ year raw vegan. He said, "Yo, Nate, you should listen to your mom." And it was from that dude right there alone that I was like, all right, I want to do this. I don't want to be sick. I want to be skiing when I'm in my 70s and 80s. No doubt about it, do I? So that was definitely the shift for me. And from that point on, I started to do a lot of research, just to do a lot of digging around, seeing what different people had to say and watching different documentaries and just feeding my mind in that area. Because you can feed your mind whatever you want. You can go wherever you want with it. You can find that eating a high protein diet and a high fat diet is healthy and is going to give you the results that you want. Now, the results that I want, of course, I want a Greek god body just like anybody, right? But I also want to feel good, and I want to be able to move in my body. I want to be able to, sleep well and have good bowel movements and have good clean skin and no dandruff and no funky jock itch and athlete's foot and these different kinds of fungal overgrowths. So all of these things were factors, major factors on me becoming a raw vegan, which is a little more extreme than just being vegan, but I think it's even better because you feel even better. You're not eating, there's still a lot of processed foods and transitional foods out there if you want to go vegan. Going vegan is very easy these days. There is everything out there that is just delicious, just as delicious, if not even more delicious than some of the regular traditional foods that we're used to. And what makes some of these things delicious, say like a big old chunk of flesh. I call it flesh now, it's not meat, it's flesh. A big old chunk of flesh, what makes that flesh taste good? It's not necessarily the flesh, maybe the blood, right? Because we are bloodthirsty. If you've tasted the blood, you're kind of bloodthirsty. But even more so, what makes it taste good, see, I know some of you might think that that's pretty gross, but blood does definitely have a distinguishable taste. And I would say what makes it taste really good, though, is all the plants that we put on it, the different seasonings, the herbs and spices. So you can put these herbs and spices on different things to make them taste good. I like to put different herbs and spices on my cucumbers. And although cucumbers aren't necessarily very calorically dense, they're very delicious, they're hydrating, they're crisp, refreshing, and I like to eat cucumbers pretty much daily. Some people, you might get sick of the same food daily. I don't eat cucumbers every single day, but I definitely like cucumbers pretty much 5 times a week. Anyways, that being said, those are some of the reasons that made me choose to become vegan. Watching my mom get cancer, watching her heal cancer, meeting that guy who was 86, who was shredding down the mountain, who was a raw vegan for over 40 years, and then doing the research that I did. It was a no-brainer. It was an absolute no-brainer after I had an open mind and really wanted to shift what I was feeling, because as I was looking at myself becoming, say, 220 pounds and getting bigger, not feeling very good, and watching lots of my other friends my age, you know, I'm in my early 40s, beginning to have some issues and breaking down, you know, say those telltale signs, you know, oh, I'm getting old, man, this stuff ain't working the same as it used to. I didn't buy it, not after I saw that dude who was 86, John. Now, he might be one of those exceptions, but he did heal himself from colorectal cancer. And so those right there were two major factors for me wanting to become vegan. So changing your diet and my lifestyle is almost harder than changing your religion, because we are so addicted to these foods. When you become a raw foodie, even for just a month or 3 months, 3 months you'll have it dialed. You will have it dialed. It's just basically a no-brainer after that. A month, you kind of toying around with it a little bit, that's good. But it's going to take a few months to really switch up the inner terrain, so to speak, if you were to eat nothing but, you know, strictly raw foods. But for me, it was a no-brainer. It makes perfect sense. Any research that you do, and then if you just look deep within yourself, you understand that these are foods in their natural state. They don't take much to break down. Everything is contained within the food, is in there to break itself down. And that right there is just beautiful. It's less work on the body to process it, so therefore you have more energy. There's a great book called The Mucusless Diet System by Dr. Arnold Ehret back in like the 1800s. And he talked about this equation. I think it was, how did it go? Vitality equals power minus obstruction. So V equals P minus O. We want to be vital. We want to be powerful. Well, we have to stop putting obstructive things within us. So that's a great one to live by. You know, we want to be vital, and we want to have some power, some balance, some strength in there, right? These are things that that made me want to change my diet as a dude. Anyways, if you guys like this video, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Give it a thumbs up. Give me a little feedback. Give me some ideas for some other video topics that you guys might like to see, and I'll see what I can come up with for you. I can be found on other social media. Let's see, we've got Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, and YouTube. Raw Natty Nate. Until next time, guys. Love ya.